Hi guys, my name is Elsie,
My name is JT.
and welcome to the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix review. Now this was an unbelievable race. I can't even put it into words how amazing this was. It had everything, didn't it, JT?
You little Dutch lady. I love you.
It was unbelievable. It stopped a load of things. You can't. Nobody could write this. You couldn't even write it. I thought through the race it was just a dream. This wasn't even the real race, but it was unbelievable. And we're going to try and pack everything into this thrilling weekend into this 40-minute video. So let's start off with. We'll try. Let's start off with heading into the weekend. Now, obviously, we had that problem with Max and Daniel. Everyone feeling sorry for Daniel, feeling happy for Max going into Red Bull, but a bit pessimistic. Thinking, does Max have it in him? Should he have moved to Red Bull? Daniel was nearly crying in the press conference when they were asking him, when he got that call. But their main problem was, was Max worth it? And he really was. He really performed on track, obviously through the practice sessions and in qualifying, amazing. And he really put us into play. Obviously fourth place in qualifying was amazing. But let's head into the race now. This was 2 hours, 100 minutes, 2 hours that nobody will ever forget. The Mercedes will never forget, everyone on the grid will never forget, and Max will never forget, and we'll move on to him in a bit. So let's start off with what happened into the fourth corner, in lap one. The Mercedes, I'll tell you, JT. So they both headed into the corner. So they both started. Rosberg jumped Hamilton into turn one, and it was looking good. It was looking incredibly good. You thought Rosberg's gonna, he's on. By the way, he was going for lap. He was going for 8 wins. So you thought, he'd do well getting in front of Hamilton. They were both coming around, so Rosberg was ahead. Hamilton then moved left. Rosberg then cut him off, pushed Hamilton onto the grass. Hamilton got into a bit of a tank slapper, hitting Rosberg, span. So there you go, Rosberg's coming round the corner and Hamilton's spinning off. But then what happens, JT? They both hit. So Hamilton and Rosberg are both on the gravel and they're out. This is unbelievable, JT. This is bigger than Belgium 14. This is Turkey 2010, isn't it? Bigger than Turkey 2010, if you like, because it's just everyone had something to play for. Rosberg was going for 8. Hamilton needed a win, and, well, they were both out in a matter of 20 seconds. It was just, wow.
It was absolutely incredible. I watching that race. As soon as that moment came on, I was straight on my phone going, oh my God, nobody even predicted that would actually be the start, you know what I mean? We've seen some massive teammate battles and crashes in the past days, like you said, Elsie, Turkey 2010, Belgium 2014. This is definitely one of them, because who was at fault here? Nicky Lauda blamed Hamilton, but we're all blaming Rosberg, you know what I mean? So this could go on for a good couple of weeks.
Oh, I will, yeah.
I mean, oh, what a moment. And then from that moment on, you knew, right, this is going to be a good race. Because like in Hungary 2015, when both of them were struggling, right, this is going to be a good race. Same again with this one, but this one was even better.
It's going to be a good race, and it's going to be a great season. You know that because, remember Belgium 14, JT? It was only a tiny little collision, but it set their friendship, or their lack of friendship, if you like, through the roof. And now they all headed up to what's called the Tree House, the Tree House of Fun. So they all headed up, Toto Wolff, Paddy Lowe, Nicky Lauda, the two drivers who, by the way, kept the crash helmets on. They didn't even want to speak to each other. I don't even know if they did. I was expecting a fist fight. Nothing would have changed my mind, JT, to think I would just see them rolling out, rolling down the stairs, fighting with each other.
That would be incredible to see. I would pay to see that. I mean, forget all this Conor McGregor, Floyd fights. Nico Rosberg versus Lewis Hamilton in the ring, actually in the paddock. That would be incredible.
Well, that might be their next careers, JT, because, they're not going to fire them, but, you could see something like this. They will be under such... and also as well, by the way, we're going to go into this, obviously, we've got ages, but if Lewis and Nico were both unsure about what's going to happen with their careers next year, well, this is definitely going to put it in perspective. If Lewis thought about leaving before this race, you can bet your bottom dollar that's what's going to happen, or will have definitely persuaded him to leave.
Definitely, because... obviously, we don't know what the stewards' outcome is.
No.
We'll probably know about the next couple of hours or so. Go ahead on our Facebook page to find out what the result is when it does come out. But to be fair, I believe that in my opinion, Rosberg was at fault a little bit, not as like a main right. Rosberg, it's 100% your fault. You know what I mean? Hamilton went obviously onto the grass. He found the gap, went with Rosberg, sort of closed the gap, but maybe he didn't even see Hamilton in time. But by the time Hamilton did that, he was like, "Oh God, I've got no room." Goes on the grass and just obviously loses. When he could have went on the left, when he could have went round left, on the outside, and obviously he was trying to go for the inside line into turn 5, I think it was. And obviously, then again, even if he didn't go for the inside, he could have went around the outside, allowed Rosberg room. Then coming into turn 6, he would have had the inside line there. So, I mean, Rosberg a little bit to blame, Hamilton a little bit decisive in his decisions, but I don't know what they were said in the room. That would be very interesting to hear what those two had to say.
It was,
given this added story.
It should come out very, very, very soon. And as I speak, Nicky Lauda's on the telly taking questions. Toto Wolff's already said that it was a racing incident, but obviously that's just that was before the decision had been made. Obviously, everyone at Mercedes being told that we decide something before you tell the media. But as he said, JT, Nicky Lauda's very much on Lewis's side. Even in Belgium, he blamed Nico. I mean, that was a bit different, obviously, because Nico was behind him, clipped him with his front wing, giving him a rear puncher. But that was a bit different. But he does side with Lewis quite a bit. So anyway, let's move off them because they're out. So we've
that's half of the story.
Oh yeah. Which is surprising, JT, because normally we have a big crash like we did in Belgium. I mean, that was the main talking point. 8 seconds in, Button rose to a nice victory at the front. So you'd think that this was going to be the main talking point in the race, but no, of course not. So they're out before even Sector 2. Now, that's just unbelievable. So you had Kimi Räikkönen, so you had Daniel Ricciardo and his teammate Max Verstappen, the very young Max, which, by the way, you'll hear his name a lot, going into the lead. And this was unbelievable because, again, we're going to get into the predictions that we made later on in the video, but we made a prediction that Max would finish third, and that's where we think he would run, behind both Mercedes drivers, the top Red Bull, and he was the top Red Bull, but we thought, that he'd get onto the podium behind those two. They go out, and they have given a better opportunity to Max, but he definitely deserved everything that he got, even that hypothetical third place that we gave him behind the Mercedes drivers. So they both headed into the race, and it was a real scrap for them. Now, with another driver that's very skilled, you think, well, when are they going to start dropping off? When are they going to start falling back on the field, and when they're going to get overtaken by Vettel, Raikkonen, and people like that? Sebastian Vettel took the lead very early on, but he was a late pitter. So when he went into the pit garages, Max Verstappen then came through to take the lead. This was unbelievable. He'd already broken the record as the youngest driver to lead a Grand Prix at 18 years and 227 days, and also the only Dutch driver to lead a Grand Prix. Remember, his dad Jos made the podium twice 22 years ago in 1994, but never led a Grand Prix. So 2 records already been broke there, so he had a reason to celebrate twice in the podium. Red Bull could even crack open the champagne then. Even if they thought Max would spin out and crash, they could still have a reason to celebrate. But that wasn't the case. Max would never give up that easily. So they were running incredible. Max was swapping positions with people like Kimi Räikkönen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Sebastian Vettel. But Max Verstappen took the lead around halfway point, around 30 laps to go. And that's where he stayed, JT. An amazing race to take the checkered flag. The first race for Red Bull, the youngest driver on the podium, the youngest driver to win, the first Dutch driver on the the second Dutch driver on the podium, the first Dutch driver to win at 18. I mean, we're older than Max, which we've said many times. And he's won a race, JT. If you were Max, how would you be feeling about this?
On top of the world, on top of the universe.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I've seen something in a statement where it said Verstappen went from go-karts to Formula 1 in 2 years. It was literally like a fire went off. Like you poured petrol out, you just light the fire, light your match, dropped it, and boom, everything's gone up. It was like I heard Max Verstappen had joined this young lad, had joined the Red Bull junior team. He went into Formula 3, I think it was. I might be wrong. He won his first race, Then literally a couple of minutes later, he signs for Toro Rosso for 2015, and I'm sitting there going, hang on, whoa, everybody's just slow down for a bit. I've just heard of this kid for literally a week ago. Now he's coming to Formula 1. He's like, 16 years old? He'll be 17 when he joins? It's like, what? And then obviously there was this massive thing going on when he swapped places with Danny Kivat. And to be fair, I bet this was the last thing he was expecting at the start of the season. I'm in Toro Rosso, I'm taking one race at a time. Let's see how well we do. Maybe a fourth, might get a look podium here and there, winning a race. No, wrong, mate. I mean, wow. I mean, there's so many things you want to say. There's so many things you want to explain and just amazing. Go on about, but literally, there's not enough time in life to go on about this because it's just so. We are witnessing something like I highly doubt this record will go.
No, never.
For a long time. I mean, 18 years old, and he's won a race. There's people out there in bloody colleges, universities, revise like hell, especially this time of year with exams coming up. My colleague himself, he's probably doing the same. He's at university right now, and they'll be banging out stress. What am I going to do in my life? There's Max Verstappen. I'm just going to go for it.
I would love to be Max Verstappen. Do you know in countries, JT, where the legal age of drinking is higher than 18, it's like 21, things like that. So it's technically illegal for him. Obviously, in this country, it's 18 years old. So he is just legal to drink that champagne on the podium. And as you said, JT, if that record's ever going to be beaten by, say, someone who's 17, they're not going to be standing there, and then they'll go, and now the champagne, and then they get ready to spray it, and then someone just walks up and goes, no, you've got to have Diet Coke.
you can't know. I remember, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Vettel, because they were in a country where a driver got onto the podium, but their legal drinking age was obviously higher.
Yeah.
Like not 21, 22. I genuinely can't remember.
Yeah.
And the driver on the podium couldn't drink the champagne. He was given whoop or something. It might have been Vettel. I honestly cannot remember.
Probably was, yeah.
If anyone knows, let us know in the comments below, because I cannot remember. But they couldn't give him champagne because it wasn't illegal to drink.
That's
incredible.
That's unbelievable.
Because obviously, I think in Spain it's
yeah.
It's in Europe, so it might be the same all the European countries.
Yeah.
But I mean that'd be the least.
It would. Oh.
Well, the least of a celebration at the least. Oh my.
Now his dad Jos was over the minute. Was crying in the Red Bull garage. I mean, that is just. It's his first race. He was roped in to fill Daniel Kvyat's seat about 6 days ago now, and then he is now a winner. I thought getting on the podium was going to be great for Max. That was going to be a turning point. But we, as JT said, we are witnessing something unbelievable. Did you know what? The Mercedes pairing obviously colliding. That was big news. But this Max Verstappen winning has blown them out the water. No one even cares about them. No one even cares about the Mercedes anymore. It's Max now. Wow.
Look, to be fair, I don't think any F1 fans right now know the actual results of from the obviously they know the podium, but they probably don't know from 4th to 10th.
Yeah.
They don't know who's from where. Just before recording, I was like, oh, where's the McLaren's finish? Obviously, Alonso retired. Chelsea finished 9th. I was like, oh, we got 2 points. I didn't even know because we were so focused on Verstappen winning the race.
I know.
What a week it's been for him. You know, what I mean? We started the week. There was rumours. Then he goes to Red Bull. Then we make a video about it, which obviously turned out to be a massively popular video of ours. And then comes into the weekend, qualifies 4th. That's brilliant. So we're thinking, right, he can get on the podium, but obviously you've got the Mercedes, the Ferraris, and stuff else to contend with. So let's see how his strategy plays out. Then obviously then collide. The Ferraris have been off pace all weekend, 5th and 6th for both Kimi and Seb, and I think that just proves that Ferrari have problems.
Yeah.
I would say, but I mean, yes, they have got some good results in recent times, but in qualifying 5th and 6th, and then obviously when the Mercedes retired, I put a status out saying, right, this is Ferrari's opportunity to actually get something out of what has been so far a bit of a poor season. Well, not a poor season, but a bit of a downer season compared to 2015. But by this time last season, they already won a race.
Yeah.
They were the only team to catch Mercedes. And as we've been saying, Red Bull have creeping up. now this just kind of proved that Red Bull are willing to. They can win races.
Yeah,
Mercedes prior.
they can. Yeah.
When Mercedes fall, Red Bull can step up to the plate. I mean, yeah, Ricardo got a puncture, but it could have been a lot better result for Red Bull, possibly 1-2.
It could have been a 1-2 GT, and as I put on the page, the last time there was a Red Bull 1-2 was Brazil 2013 at Intergalos, which was Sebastian Vettel in first place and then Mark Webber in second place. Which, I mean, the last win for Red Bull was obviously the 2014 Belgian Grand Prix with Daniel Ricciardo, and then Red Bull are not on top like they were with Sebastian Vettel in 13, but 11, 12, 13, 11, 10, 11, 12 and 13. But there could be. I mean, this race, and that's just, it's mad. Max, it's his first race. So basically there's no stopping him for next time. And also as well, when he was in that car, JT, on the Friday and on the Saturday, Peter was saying things like, it'll take him a few races to get warmed up. Well, I'll tell you something. If he's in like the warm-up stage, the warm-up process of his life, then basically what he'll do is the next race he'll go on to a pole and win. The third race he'll go on to maybe top in a practice, pole and the win. Then the next race he'll go on to like Grand Slams and consecutive wins and
win, fastest lap, pole, win, lead every lap. And you know what I mean? I made a bold statement where I said that Max Verstappen, give him the right car, and he will beat Michael Schumacher's win record and championship record. And this is proven. He's in a car that can't win a race to save his life. There have been a bit of struggles on Red Bull. Yes, have won a race this time, but Mercedes had to crash. So this is a car that is struggled. That it's better, but they're a team that are on a bit of a struggle considering their success they've had in the last 4 years. And this has just proved that he can keep like a driver experiences. Kimi Räikkönen, the flying Finn, one-time world champion. I mean, look what he did with Lotus a few years ago.
Yeah.
He did well. He kept him at Finn. Sebastian Vettel, he had 5 world titles behind him, and he kept both of them behind him.
Yep.
As well as a 3-time race winner in Daniel Ricciardo. You know what I mean? This tells everything about Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
This is almost a bigger story than when Sebastian Vettel won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because yes, Vettel was young, but Max Verstappen was younger. You know what I mean? And wow.
Well, it is. It's obviously Max Verstappen's beating Sebastian's record of winning a race. As I say, 18 years and 227 days. The record of Sebastian Vettel was 21 years and 73 days. So that's 2.5 years, something like that, which was unbelievable. So let's get on to the race results. If you don't know, so obviously Max Verstappen, you will know that. Max Verstappen, the winner. Kimi Räikkönen, second place. Now, we did really well to get that. Kimi, I mean, the thing is, we're going back. We've always said that Kimi will most definitely go next season. He'll go to NASCAR, he'll go to, DTM, he'll go into another formula, or he might even just retire. But he's doing incredibly well this year. Obviously, won Driver of the Day in Russia, which I see great. So he's definitely on a pro and definitely on a roll. And also, I saw something that said that he might be signed for next year. I would promote that, and I think so would JT. Sebastian Vettel in a third place position. Now, it's not really great for him to think that he was leading the race, and also as well, once both Mercedes drivers crashed out, he was thought to probably be not the most experienced, but probably the one with the highest probability to win the race, JT. Yeah, and David Croft did said like, Sebastian's got this. It's something about lap 20, obviously, before he went into the pit and before he got overtaken by Max, and obviously everyone else piled over him. Daniel Ricciardo, as we saw with that puncher, he came back on 4th place. Now, he was doing a fantastic run. Obviously, the leader at Red Bull at the moment, and he's doing fantastic, really well done to kind of salvage something from that, because he was definitely under threat from Valtteri Bottas in 5th, who was closing down on him, doing a very good race for Williams. As you know, Pastor and Williams won in 2012, so obviously Catalonia is a track that they love. 6th place, Carlos Sainz for Toro Rosso. The first Toro Rosso, obviously, is a very unhappy teammate who got kicked from Red Bull. So a great race for him. A Spanish driver as well. The only Spanish driver in the points and the only Spanish driver to finish the race, which is a shame for them because they'll have wanted Alonso to finish, but it's very good for the Spanish fans also. Sergio Perez, again, a driver who likes that, for Force India, finishing in 7th place. Again, salvaging so much for Force India as his teammate Nico Hulkenberg retires with a fire. Felipe Massa in 8th place, the second Williams salvaging something. JT, your Jenson Button, your McLaren finishing in 9th place. A points finish for him. Obviously, again salvaging something that Fernando Alonso crashes out. Now, 10th place, JT. Let's discuss this man, Daniel Kvyat. Obviously, we expected better from him. He didn't get obviously a bad qualifying session for quite a bad qualifying session, and that's really what set aside the we don't care about Daniel anymore. We were feeling sorry for him on Friday, but we're not anymore. Do you think that was a good comeback to finish 10th, or do you think it was a good race from him? Obviously, knowing that everyone kind of resents him, thinks he's a bad driver.
He had a bit of a quiet race, didn't he? Because obviously, I mean, when the both Mercedes went off, in the background, Carlos Sainz crept through past Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah.
Third, so he was in third during the safety car period. Whereas Danny Kvyat was more back. He started 13th and he finished 10th, so he jumped 3 places. He's got a point, which is good, but if he was in the Red Bull, he would have done better. He's kicking himself right now because it's like, hang on a second, if Red Bull hadn't kicked off, could have Danny Kvyat won the race? He would have. I mean, you know what? Obviously, car, but then
that would have been such a shock.
But then again, obviously we'll never know. But then again, you've got Max Verstappen, a very talented young driver who's quick. Then I wouldn't say as quick as Max Verstappen. So I reckon Kim Raikkonen would have caught him. But
yeah.
I mean, a point is good enough. But on Friday he was saying that he felt warm, he felt confident again.
Yeah.
He felt rejuvenated at Toro Rosso. And then coming into qualifying in the race, he said that there was still a bit sharp edges with the team, which was a bit of a weird statement to say because obviously he said that he felt welcome again and he felt at home with Toro Rosso. And then as the weekend went on, he sort of went, you know what I mean? The car doesn't feel as good as what the Red Bull would have. You know what I mean? That was a bit of a disappointment for Danny. But I mean, let's see how he does in Monaco. Obviously, there's restricted overtaking as we know. And maybe he might redeem himself there if he gets a good result there.
Yeah, he could.
Not only that, he's done well in Monaco, which is obviously, as we all know, a very hard circuit to finish on and also to overtake on as well. So he's got a lot to prove.
Just as you mentioned there, Monaco, JT, the first thing I want to say, obviously, is Max Verstappen. He's done, I mean, it's not really he has to prove himself in Monaco. He's already proved himself today, but do you reckon that he'll blow us out the water in Monaco? Obviously, he's in a great car, but even if he wasn't, it's a very tight, limited overtaking, but incredibly, you need like guts to go around Monaco, don't you, at 200 miles an hour? Do you think he'll really prove favourably in that race?
Definitely, he showed us that last year, didn't he? He took fun there, but obviously his race ended in a bad way, crashing in the back of Roman Grosjean, I think, and hit the wall. And that was the moment where Max Verstappen sort of put his feet firmly back on the ground and sort of right, this is Formula 1, this can be dangerous, let's calm down a little bit. And it has shown, and his talent has been proven ever since, you know what I mean? And Monaco is one of them circuits where if the driver does well there throughout his career, he's going to be regarded as one of the best.
Yeah.
As we're saying, obviously, you've got the bigs, not Jim Clark, he never won there. Graham Hill, Senna, F1 greats who did well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Rosberg as well, he's won there a few times, that's where he lives. He knows that place very well.
Yep.
So obviously, he'll want to be doing well there in the next race. Max Verstappen might do well. I believe he will, given the right setup and everything, getting everything spot on. He can get a podium at that place. Obviously, I doubt the Mercedes might crash each other again. That would be good to see. But,
if they do, that's it. If they do the route, the fires.
That'll be very, very controversial if that would happen.
Yeah, very much.
About very controversial things what could happen, like Danny Kvyat moving out the way, or Daniel Ricciardo moving out the way of Max Verstappen, or Danny Kvyat hitting Max Verstappen and stuff. But there was an incident I did see at when Danny Kvyat was lapped. He actually overtook Daniel Ricciardo, I think, and went in front of him, and it was like, what's going on here? And it was about like half a lap, and everyone was like, hang on a second, Daniel Ricciardo's off the pace, and he got a puncture straight afterwards, and I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, he's got a puncture, and Danny Kvyat just overtook him as soon as he got that puncture.
Oh, I didn't even think that. Wow.
Wacky races.
It's mad. Just as well, there's two things that you mentioned there, JT, which I'm going to go on to. The first one, obviously, is Rosberg. By the way, guys, he went for 8. He is now back to going for 1. I mean, he's not really. Obviously, he won the first 4 races, but in terms of his. By the way, I don't think Rosberg will ever have another chance to go for this again. But his streak, obviously, he's got 7. He's matched Michael Schumacher. I'm not sure whose name will come first when you look up that record, if it'll be Schumacher or Rosberg. But anyway, he's matched that, 7, so I'll be very happy but he's going after 8, so he would have beaten Michael's record, which means that wouldn't exist anymore. But now he can't. So will he get his? Again, we're going to give our predictions obviously in the preview of Monaco next in a fortnight's time. But he will be going for his 5th win, but obviously inconsistently. So his first win in a tally of how many he can go to for the rest of the season. Which is amazing. And the second thing, JT, which you mentioned again about Daniel Kvyat possibly causing an incident, was towards the end of the race, Daniel Ricciardo was overtaking Sebastian Vettel, and on 2 occasions he kind of not locked up, but he kind of braked very late into turn 1, almost collected Sebastian Vettel. And then he was mouthing off on the radio. I forgot what he said. He said something like, "Is this racing?" and then something else, but I missed it. I imagine it would have been quite funny.
I think he said, "Is this racing we're doing, or is it ping pong?"
I missed what he said, but I knew it was going to be something funny. but it is racing at the end of the day, isn't it? And this is no relation to, is it, to what happened with Daniel Kvyat or anything like that. Anything that's happened before. 2010. Maybe he just wanted to mouth off on the radio.
He just could have run Sebastian Vettel, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a good ranter. He even did it in 2010 when he was 20 years old. You know, he'd been 21, early 21, and yeah.
I remember when I first got the F1 2010 season review. Obviously, it showed the crash, but it never really told you what he said.
Yeah.
And then I think it was in the 2013 season review where they were showing obviously the Multi 21 incident.
Yep.
They went back to that. And it
does.
It told you what he said. It was like, what are we doing?
He says, "What are we doing here?" No, he says, "I'm going home," which I loved. He says, "I'm going home."
I was killing it. I'm going home. It's like,
I'm going home. Bye bye. I'm going home. But it's wow, what unbelievable.
But I'm sitting there. I'm thinking, I'm like, what is it with the Ferrari and the Red Bull? Like, I was saying before, he's got some sort of magnet on there, like he's attached to the Red Bull. And
yeah.
There is something there, and it's like if Ricciardo had hit Vettel, would have Ricciardo left?
No.
Red Bull.
Vettel could have been kicked out, but no. So let me just give you a rundown of the championship, how it stands at the moment. Obviously, as we know, Rosberg and Hamilton gets no points. Rosberg stays at the top with 100 points, but Hamilton drops to 3rd. Kimi Raikkonen has now overtaken him with 61 points, so he is now 4 points behind Kimi Raikkonen, and then he's on 57 points, so that's 43 behind Nico Rosberg. Sebastian Vettel has 48 points in 4th place, tied with Daniel Ricciardo in 5th, joint 4th place if you like. Max Verstappen is in 6th place with 38 points, but that is obviously going to grow, isn't it, JT? So much. Felipe Massa is in 7th place with 36 points, and Valtteri Bottas is in 29. So you've got the 2 Williams stood there. As far as the Constructors' Championship goes, Mercedes are at the top with 157 points, with Ferrari at 109 in 2nd place. Red Bull Racing are in 94 in 3rd place. Williams Mercedes 65 points in 4th place. Toro Rosso 26 points in 5th place. Haas, surprisingly enough, JT, haven't they? Because they haven't really performed since Bahrain, I'd say. Are in 6th place with 22 points. Force India, 14 points in 7th place. And then McLaren in 12, which is such an improvement. I'm hoping that grows, JT, because as the season's progressed, I've developed almost an inspiration for McLaren. I think this race, unfortunately I thought Alonso would do better. Unfortunately retired, but I'm hoping that McLaren grow too. Even when we go to Silverstone, that they're on top, they're doing a better form. They're both in the points, both in Q3, and they're performing like they did a few years ago.
I was watching this race, and there was a few times where we were both in the points and we were out the points, and I'm going, I think one of them will get a point, but I'm not expecting a good haul of points like we got in the last race. Obviously, we got lucky that race, I would say, but obviously the reliability was there, so that's what got us the points as well. So again, that's a massive improvement.
Yep.
And obviously, there's only 2 times this season that we've had Gremlins. We had Jensen Button in Bahrain, and we had Fernando Alonso in this race. So reliability is massively improved, which is good. But we need to get more points. And Force India getting 6 points, was it?
Yeah.
Perez finished in 7th. And obviously the overtook us in the Constructors' Championship, which now is a battle for us and Force India to go with, which was a bit like Similar situation in 2013, I think. Obviously, we were massively off the pace, battling with Force India, who bottled it last minute, as they have done for the last couple of seasons. So, I mean, 2 points is better than 0 points, definitely. But I want to improve. I want to see more points added to McLaren's tally to try and get them as high as we possibly can, because we can't get higher than what we are. The car is faster, and obviously, massive congratulations to Fernando Alonso getting into Q3.
Yes, very good.
For the first time since Honda returned to the sport. I think it was the first time since 2014, I think. Yeah, well, might be 2014 since the last time we were in Q3. I don't know the exact race, but obviously it was definitely 2014 when we were Q3.
Yeah.
So it's been a long way coming. We're just waiting for a race victory.
Yeah.
Sorry, a podium. That's our next target.
Yeah, that would be great to see.
That's a Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferraris, and a couple of Williams retire.
Crash out again. They all take each other out. Yeah. I wonder what he would have provided to the Mercedes carnage, and at least he would have had someone to blame, I guess.
He probably would have sitting and been like, I'm having a bit of that.
Look, there's a crash.
That's mine.
But this race was unbelievable. Seeing Max Verstappen on the podium was just something of a dream, wasn't it, JT? It's absolutely amazing to see. What a fantastic race this was. And this race had already got you on the edge of your seat. Well, before we'd even got to Sector 2 on lap 1, you saw the two Mercedes drivers go off. And then to be honest, the whole weekend had. If you are a Formula 1 fan, you're following Max Verstappen's career, which, by the way, I don't know how you can't, because he's now in Red Bull. He was in the spotlight before the weekend, but he has improved tenfold and victory of the race. And that leads me on to JT, to a very, Max won the race, okay, but the most important trophy. And JT, can you please tell me? By the way, guys, if you can't remember, I'll tell you the winners of our F1 Debate Show coveted Driver of the Day award in Australia. It went to Romain Grosjean, a brand new Haas team getting into the points, which hasn't been done for 14 years. Very special for him. Bahrain, the second race of the season, went to a driver who isn't even in Formula 1 at the moment, Stoffel Van Dorn, which got McLaren into the points, their first time in the season. China, which very surprisingly went to a Toro Rosso driver at Red Bull, Daniel Kvyat, after his amazing third place, and Russia went to Kimi Raikkonen, the man who finished in second today. But all eyes are on the fifth race in Spain, and JT, please present Driver of the Day for Spain.
Driver of the Day, definitely without a doubt, goes to Max Verstappen. Now, obviously before the race, during the race when this was all happening, when Raikkonen was winning, Vettel was winning, Ricardo was winning, and it was like massive change in strategy, softs, medium, softs and stuff. I'm sitting there going, my head hurts. Who we're going to give this driver of the day to? Because you got Max Verstappen obviously keeping all them behind him, Ricardo for keeping composed as well and leading Red Bull to a win, Raikkonen for coming back, and Vettel for finally winning the race this season. They actually beat them very talented drivers. It's sort of like, this is Sebastian Vettel again, and I'm thinking, what's going on? And then when Max Verstappen was keeping Raikkonen behind him, I'm sitting there going, even if Raikkonen passes him and wins the race, Max Verstappen getting that trophy.
Yeah.
Because, to keep them for that long, it was just incredible. And this trophy for Max Verstappen goes to you. Hopefully this will be the first of many trophies.
Yes, first of many. That is an understatement.
Obviously, you've already got one for yourself. This is one coming your way. I don't know where you live. Send us your postcode if you want to, or you send us your address. You did send us a quick message.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Obviously, just straight off the board. I don't know if you did the boarding interviews. I never really seen it because I sort of ran upstairs straight away.
Yeah.
Ahead of the record.
I think it was some Spanish guy, JT.
Oh yeah. I remember when you turned the camera on, LC. I did hear some Spanish voices. So
yeah. That was me. I was practicing my Spanish.
Max Verstappen says, dear JT and LC, thank you very much for awarding this award to me. It was a massive achievement. What I can do in Formula 1. Hopefully this is the first of many, and also keep up the good work with the videos. P.S. I will subscribe.
Oh yes, of course.
Lad.
Max will subscribe, and so will you guys out there. 47 is unbelievable, guys. We said 50 before the British Grand Prix at Silverstone would be unbelievable. We have about 6 weeks to go, which will be amazing. Now, just to close off the show, JT, we're going to run through the predictions that we put on the page. Now, we were wrong so much. We had, we'll only list a few. First place we had Nico Rosberg. Now that was looking like it was going to happen for the first 10 seconds of the race, wasn't it, JT?
For the first 3 corners.
For the first, yeah. He did an amazing overtake by Lewis Hamilton. He took him by surprise, found the pace that Mercedes obviously had with Lewis, and then just added probably, it felt like another 20 miles an hour that I had on top of that. He span round on the straight before corner 4, where they had the collision. He span round into there. Now, it was, not span, I mean like ran fast into there. So the second place we had Lewis Hamilton. That was wrong again. 2 Mercedes taking each other out. It's just such a shock. Even if Rosberg or Hamilton was out, I'd expect someone else to take him out, like Fiat or Maldonado. Maybe Maldonado was watching in the stands and he just chucked something on the track. But and then third place we have Max Verstappen. Into first place, he was on the podium, which we knew, obviously, like his dad Jos was 22 years ago. He did that twice in his career, so we were looking for that. We had Kimi Räikkönen in 4th, Daniel Ricciardo in 5th, Vettel in 7th, Fiat in 8th, Button in 9th, and Bottas in 10th. I'm just reading out them, and apart from Fernando Alonso, who sadly retired, we had them in the points, which was good. Obviously, in not in their right positions, but we definitely had them in the points, which showed that we were kind of right for that. So that's going to be the end of the review, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It was an unbelievable, wow is an understatement of what we saw, what we witnessed today. You guys saw history out there. You saw the making of an amazing race, something that will define Formula One. We have the youngest winner of almost 3 years, younger than Sebastian Vettel, still a teenager, and like his dad on the podium, the first Dutch driver to win a race, the first Dutch driver to lead a race. It's just wow. I mean, you thought the Mercedes was great enough. It's just amazing.
I think Max's reward tonight is going to be he gets to stay up an hour later tonight than his usual bedtime.
Yeah, he gets 2 hours of TV.
So, Jos Verstappen, if you are watching this, please let Max Verstappen stay up an hour later tonight. He has done well to qualify well, race well. He's won a race. Give him a chance.
Oh, he will.
Obviously, sleeps out on a school night as well. So.
Oh, yes, man. But, so that would be the end. Oh, my God. What an amazing race by Max. It's just, you can't even put it into words. But thank you very much for watching this review. It's been such a great weekend. We hope you've enjoyed all the other videos we do. We got nearly 400 views on the F1 Debate Show episode 11, which was the one where we talked about them trading places. As JT mentioned, we did so well on that video. Thank you very much for watching. Also, the preview.
I'd like to take this opportunity to really thank everyone for viewing that.
Yep.
Then obviously not only our episode 11, but our Spanish Grand Prix preview, which has nearly got up I think about 400, nearly 400.
That is amazing.
It is quite high in 300s, and I mean it does sound a little bit stupid when you're saying like thank you for getting us to 400 views. Thank you. Because normally you'd be like thank you for getting us to 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
2 million. You know what I mean? But for a channel our size, for how long we've gone, 400 views. That's impressive.
It
We're
is.
proud of that. You know what I mean? Like people might not have watched all of the video because I mean it is now a long video. But I mean for those who probably did, I mean it was such an entertaining video, and thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video.
Yeah.
We are very appreciative.
We are.
Of every like, every view, every comment, every subscribe we get. It literally is just like thank you guys.
You are building this page. You're building the dream of the F1 Debate Show. So thank you very much.
Keep us going. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and we will see you in the next video. And for the next race, the street circuit in Monaco. So thank you very much for watching this race, guys. Thank you for watching this review, and we will see you later. Bye bye.